Hi Copites, welcome back to Copites of Anfield. In this video I'm going to do my next episode of my greatest LFC players, and this episode is to do with Steve Nicol. So let's have a look what it says about Steve Nicol. Spare me a second. Okay. So it says Steve Nicol was born on the 11th of December 1961. He's a Scottish retired professional footballer who mainly played as a right back and occasionally played in other positions across defence and midfield. He played for the successful Liverpool teams of the 1980s. He was also a regular member of the Scotland national team and represented his country at the 1986 FIFA World Cup. So he was born in Troon, Scotland. He was 5'10". He's 5'10", sorry. His Liverpool career was 1981 to 1994. 343 appearances and 36 goals. For Scotland, first team was 1984 to 1992, 27 appearances. So let's go to his club career. Straight to Liverpool. Nicol, who was signed by Bob Paisley, had to wait almost an entire year to make his senior debut for Liverpool and 2 years for a regular first team place, arriving at the club halfway through a 20-year period of dominance. He made his Liverpool debut on the 31st of August 1982 in a 0-0 league draw with Birmingham City at St Andrews and made a further 3 league appearances that season. The Reds finished as league champions for the 14th time, but Nicol did not make enough appearances to collect a title winner's medal. Nicol became a regular in the 1983-84 season under new boss Joe Fagan. He also scored his first goal for the club on the 22nd December 1983 in a 1-0 league victory over Queen's Park Rangers at Loftus Road. He went on to win a league championship medal for the end of his first full season, having not appeared enough times the previous season to qualify for a medal. However, he was not picked for the League Cup final victory over fierce Merseyside rivals Everton in the first ever All-Merseyside final. He came on as a substitute for Craig Johnson in the European Cup final against Roma in the Stadio Olimpico, Rome. After a 1-1 draw, the match went on to a penalty shootout. Nicol missed his spot kick, but Roma failed to score 2 of their penalties and Liverpool won the competition. Nicol became a first team regular for many subsequent seasons, winning the League Championship and FA Cup double in 1986 under the guidance of Kenny Dalglish, pipping Everton to the title by just 2 points and then beating them 3-1 in the first ever All-Merseyside FA Cup final. He also settled into an international career which would ultimately yield 27 caps and a place in the 1986 FIFA World Cup in Mexico. With Scotland a versatile player, he played most often at right back following the departure of Phil Neal in 1985, though he also featured at left back, in the centre of defence and as a midfield player. He even played up front on a couple of occasions. He earned the nickname Chopsy, because of how he pronounced the word chips. In the 1987-88 season, he was in good goal scoring form, despite playing in a position not naturally conducive to attacking. His form included a memorable hat-trick at Newcastle United and a phenomenal long-range header to win at Arsenal on the opening day of the season. Nicol's defensive qualities were also much admired as Liverpool coasted to the league title but missed out on another double when Wimbledon surprisingly beat them 1-0 in the FA Cup final at Wembley. Nicol was the last Liverpool player to have a chance to equalise and force extra time, but his diving header in injury time flew narrowly over the crossbar. A year later, Nicol played his part as Liverpool won the FA Cup against Everton, winning 3-2 after extra time, but lost the league title in a decider against Arsenal with virtually the last kick of the game. The campaign ended on a personal high for Nicol as he was named Footballer of the Year by Football Writers. Nicol accompanied his teammates to many of the funerals and memorial services of the 96 fans who died at the Hillsborough disaster. Like many others in the Liverpool squad, Hillsborough was the second tragedy Nicol had witnessed 4 years earlier, just before the 1985 European Cup final at the Heysel Stadium, Brussels. Liverpool fans had charged a section of mainly Juventus supporters, causing a retaining wall to collapse, killing 39 people as a result of the Heysel disaster. A 5-year ban was placed on English clubs in European competitions, with Liverpool being banned for 6 years. Nicol would be one of the few players still with Liverpool when their ban from European competitions was finally lifted. When Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 9-0 during the 89-90 season to accumulate the club's highest ever league victory, Nicol was the only player to score twice, getting the first and last goals of the game in the 7th and 90th minutes. Liverpool regained the league title that season. They last until 2019-2020. And 2 years later, Nicol was in the team which under Graham Souness won the FA Cup again in 1992, this time beating Sunderland 2-0. He remained a regular player for Liverpool until the start of the 94-95 season, when he was forced onto the sidelines with the arrival of new defenders Phil Babb and John Scales. His final appearance for the club was a League Cup tie against Burnley in October 1994. In 13 years at Anfield, he had played a total of 343 league games and scored 36 goals. At the time of leaving, he was the club's most senior player in terms of unbroken service, although Ian Rush had joined the club more than a year before Nicol. Rush's services had been disrupted by a year-long spell at Juventus. So let's have a quick look at his honours. So for Liverpool, he won the First Division title in 83-84, 85-86, 87-88 and 89-90. He won the FA Cup in 85-86 and 88-89 and 91-92. Charity Shield in 89, the European Cup in 83-84 and the Super Cup in the 85-86 season. So that's all I'm going to read for the Steve Nicol Wikipedia. If you want to go and have a look, he was quite successful, wasn't he? Again, I don't really remember him. I didn't really start watching Liverpool till around about 1995. Well, that's when I started taking more notice. I watched games, but not like took proper notice. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Take it easy.